This is from Lucy Thomas. Hallelujah. There we go, in between the Bears and the Bulls. That works. King and cruising, hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's from Lucy Thomas, everyone. Hallelujah. So just to get Compass back in, we're going to go with the disclaimer from this channel. Please be advised that this is not your broker or analyst. I don't know who you are. I don't know your financial background. I don't know anything about you. So please take everything we have to heart. No, to discard it as entertainment, because this is entertainment purposes. This is the SHIB Worldwide Broadcasting TV show. We do tell you the update from the raffle draw, which I'm not glad, I'm broadcasting it to tell you that we did not sell any tickets in the last 24 hours. We are late coming into the show. Sorry about that we're coming late. Just so everybody has an idea of what that means. And we're talking about, if anyone's interested, we're talking about Jerome Powell and what effects it had on the marketplace today, and was it justified? Massive love shout to Fives in the house. Massive hello to you. Massive love shout to the entire world, right? North America, South America. Massive love shout to Africa. Massive love shout out to the UK. Everyone in the UK, right? Europe. Massive love shout to you. Massive love shout to Asia. Massive love shout out to Australia, Antarctica. If I didn't catch you, please let me know, and we can get into Iceland, Ireland, Scotland, Spain, Switzerland. Absolutely. Don't want to leave anyone out. Finland, Norway, Poland, Ukrainian, right? Ukraine. We don't want to leave out Ukrainians. We don't want to leave out Greece. Of course, we don't want to leave out Athens, Greece. We don't want to leave out Italy. We don't want to leave out Turkey. We don't want to leave out anybody, right? So Russia, Mother Russia. We don't leave out Mother Russia. Kazakhstan. We don't want to leave out. And our prayers are with everyone that had to go through the horrendous earthquake in Russia this morning. Mass love shout out to you, by the way. Mass love shout out to all the people that are suffering from the earthquake. It was an 8.8, biggest in history. Just so everybody knows, it was massive, right? Mountains were collapsing into the sea, creating a tsunami. There was warning bells going off in Maui, and also along the East Coast in the United States. Massive shout out to Dick Smith. Okay. Massive shout out to Jason Cox. Massive shout out to Sith. Okay, Sith. Matt. Hi, Matt. Massive shout out to you. Massive shout out to Scotty Johnson. Meme coin is a shameful. Well, it is right now. It seems like it anyway, right? Still on. Absolutely, Matt. Still on. Canadian police. Hi, how are you? Canadian police. Yes, how are you? Fives. Everyone showing up. Excellent. You're looking for me. Excellent. Found me, you have. Not to sound like Yoda, but yes. So the Fed policy and the facts. As of July 30th, the Fed held the benchmark federal funds rate at 4.5 for the 5th straight meeting. Anyone interested? What that meant? Can touch a dollar. Okay, Sith. SHIB can touch a dollar. It's just going to take a lot of work, right? A lot of information is going to be posted, and a lot of information's got to come up for everybody to understand what that means. Okay, massive reductions in SHIB circulating supply. Companies get paid to reduce SHIB. So please keep that in mind. So every single organization on the planet, whether it be your dollar stores, whether it be your corner stores, whether it be the big franchises like Walmart, American Eagle was on the on X today. She was advertising it for American Eagle. Everybody was like, the devs are really pushing the envelope. I don't think it had anything to do with the devs. Just like Jerome Powell with keeping the rates at 4.5% today, how it affected the markets, it actually shouldn't have affected them at all because it's the exact same thing that he was saying before. But there's a bit of butting heads. You can tell there's a little bit of butting heads because the Federal Reserve should have reduced rates. Now, I don't believe that he should have went 25 basis points. I thought he would go 50 basis points only because it would stimulate the American economy. He didn't do that. I think it's an ego trip. He's got the power and he's showing it off. That's what I understand. I don't know about you, but that's how it looks like to me. Because everything that he's done shows that people should be focused on creating jobs, right? I don't know if anyone else saw that. Oh, Scotty Johnson, excellent. How we can master the technical analysis. Well, right now, I'm also going to talk about AI on the effects, but AI is taking a backdoor because I don't know anything that's going on. Every time I look at the certain situations, it's looking like more like whale activity. It's not AI activity that's happening in SHIB right now. Matt, good question. Too many variables. There's over 53 different variables, Matt. They're all positive. Any one of these variables that take place can drive SHIB's price extremely high. I want to, guys, Ball Cap's in the house. He was missing yesterday. Massive love show to Ball Cap. Matt and Sith, please keep this in mind. Every single company gets paid to reduce SHIB. Okay? Hey, copy. Yeah. Right? Every company gets paid to reduce SHIB. So it's in their best interest to know about SHIB. That's only one scenario. Okay? And then how many of them are going to take effect of it? Like I said yesterday, if 10 million of them started to do this, your supply is down to 10 trillion in less than 4 days. 3.87 days. No word of a lie. That's exactly the number it comes up with. 10 trillion in 4 days. If every single company adopted it immediately. Yes, if they were to buy it. But the problem is that the numbers are skewed because they don't know exactly when they would start buying. And remember, once they start buying, the price is going to start what? Increasing. There's 10 million of them. Okay, so all of them buying at once, it's a tight squeeze, right? It's an enormous squeeze because you're thinking about average that they would purchase is approximately 10,000 USD to 15,000 USD average price. Now, the dollar stores aren't going to spend that kind of money, right? Maybe 1,000, maybe 2,000, and then you got Safeway, you got grocery stores, you got Subway, all of those franchises, and how much are they going to buy in SHIB? That's like $2,000 or $3,000 maybe, and then what they're going to do is use a portion of that, right? Massive love shout out to Than. Okay, Than, you want to hit 1 cent. Absolutely awesome that you wanted to go there. Excellent, Than. American first, Deutsch. Deutsch. Okay, all my Deutsch fans, massive love shout out to you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, and comment, guys. Love yous all, and I wish everybody the massive success that we're about to receive, right? And we're very thankful for being able to buy it at this price for all those newcomers that want to get in. This is a perfect time to get in. SHIB hits 25 cents. You're quitting your job? That's a good idea. American first. SHIB hits $1. Most of us will probably be very, very well off, right? Matt says he just needs it to go up to 3011 or 4011 so I can buy more. I've been accumulating. I bought another bunch today, but that's me, right? Treat it like a lottery ticket, everybody, right? So if you're buying it, make sure you treat it like a lottery ticket. So how do we treat lottery tickets? Do you buy it and you hold grudges? Yeah, for 5 seconds and you buy some more. You treat SHIB the same way. SHIB should explode. It should have already gone up to $2 already. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. Okay, it should have hit there already. There should have been companies coming in. The exchanges should have went and caught and learned from their previous mistakes. It didn't happen. Now, it happened for a reason. I don't know what that reason is. Maybe it's to get somebody else in. Make sure everybody gets in before it explodes. Right? You got to remember, every company, the exchanges make the most, guys. Because the exchanges make their money off of the volume. How can you make SHIB constantly add value all the time? How can you do that? Reduction. The more you reduce, the faster it grows. Right? Because it grows in what? Demand. People look at it and go, oh my God, it's moving. I better jump in. Because they always want to make money. Everybody wants to make money. And when they see something moving, that's the time they jump in. Majority of them. 90%, in fact. When it's going down, people are scared. They're like, oh, I can buy it lower. Are you kidding me? It's gone lower. And then you're like, oh, well, and then the people who are in it are looking at it going, oh, it's gone down again. And then it creates that depressionary stage in people. Matt. You'll take 25 cents? You like that? David. You okay, David? Sorry. If you don't want to make money, you're in the wrong place. And if you're looking at SHIB for a long time and you're looking at it going, well, it hasn't moved anywhere. Hasn't done anything. Well, the exchanges haven't burned any of it, right? It's what we have is cryptocurrencies that have bought and sold it daily. Certain cryptocurrencies have started reducing SHIB. Yes, but how many of them? 5, 6, 10, 12 out of 28,000 of them? That's right. All of them got to start reducing SHIB. The exchanges, they want to make money. They want that volume, so they want to make money. So how do they create that volume? Start reducing SHIB. Now, if they reduce 100 million SHIB a day, well, SHIB possibly, but people don't see it, right? What happens when you reduce 100 million? We just had 600 million reduced, $8,407 and what was it? 60 cents, 71 cents. Sorry, 72 cents. Given back to the entire SHIB community. What did SHIB do? It sold off. That's value added to every single wallet holder. You got paid to hold it. 5s. You too. Yes, David A. I hope you have a great night, and we wish you all the very best in Deutsch. And in SHIB, apparently you have a bunch of SHIB. I'm not sure exactly how much, but thank you for sharing, and hope to see you tomorrow. And don't forget to hit the likes and subscribe to the channel. It helps out the channel, keeps us going, and 80% of everything we take in from this channel goes towards the reduction of SHIB. And we do live burns, so you can see exactly how much money we made, and then how much was sent into the dead-end wallets, right? So it's 80%. So please keep that in mind. 80% of everything we get from this channel, all the proceeds go to the reduction of SHIB circulating supply. Now, we do host the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 raffle for all those that care, but we can't compete with AI. It is what it is. We just can't compete with AI. AI can do it a lot faster. They have a lot more money. They can burn and buy as much as they burn. They can buy just as much, and then burn some more tomorrow. Now, we talked about the AI element of how they're going to do it, but we wanted to talk about Jerome Powell and the effects that it had on cryptocurrencies today. Now, it should never had any impact on our cryptocurrency at all, because the Federal Reserve, whatever they do, has zero impact on cryptocurrencies. Zero. So if they increase interest rates, the whole cryptocurrencies should gain, literally gain. They should go up with gold. When they reduce the rates, it doesn't mean anything. So the cryptocurrencies, depending on that news, is, in my opinion, is wrong. Right? It's deflationary. Cryptocurrencies are supposed to be deflationary. So anything that's deflationary shouldn't have any effect on how the Fed does or what they do. And that's just my take on it. I don't know what your take on it. Jerome Powell seems like to me that he's showboating, that he wants his name to reach beyond today's events and into tomorrow's events. That's what it seems like to me. Jerome Powell was pushing the narrative, and not raising interest or lowering interest rates is profoundly against what is being mentioned in the documents that he has. So all the analytic reviews that he has done doesn't make any sense, because he's went over that and he explained it. Even when he explains it, it's still, why haven't you started reducing the rates? It makes zero sense, Jerome. He's saying because of tariffs, but everything is showing him to reduce inflation. Like everything that he's looking at is showing him to reduce inflation. Sorry about that, Scotty Johnson. Your message was retracted. Did you want to shorten it? Hey, Rich Kid, Flex, how are you? And he's asking, what will the direction of the US 100 be? NFP, bro. So right now, if you're not into the banking sector, you're looking at a pullback tomorrow. Only because of what the Federal Reserve had done. And Visas, MasterCards are not doing very well. And there's less money to be spent in the economy. And that also means that businesses that are being pushed now to start up from Trump, Donald J. Trump, are now having to pull back a little bit, saying, I'm sorry, but the interest rates are too high, and we're not borrowing any more money to pay people. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is, right? So, Rich Kid. Okay, Rich Kid, I'm sorry, but I don't know your financial situation. I can't stress this enough to people. I'm not your broker or your analyst. I don't know your financial situation. I cannot give you financial advice. I can just purely tell you that because of the Federal Reserve's not doing what they said they were going to do, and if you're looking at a U.S. investment, you're going to get a little bit of a pullback, but that's widespread. Now, how much is that? The banking sector is probably going to be your best bet tomorrow to buy for your liquidity. Now, take it with a grain of salt, right? Which banks? And there's literally a few of them, a few dozen. And if you're talking about secondary and third mortgage banks, mortgage-backed banks, those banks are not doing very well. So just so you know, those banks are losing money currently. Lusta, fives, FR. So not to get away from the prospectus of SHIB, because I think that's where you're headed with this, is to get you information on crypto or away from crypto into the stock markets. Stock markets, all of them are based on fundamental facts that are provided to you by the SEC or the SEO or through the CFO documentation that you can find on the web, but the information is biased, right? It's from the company themselves. So please keep that in mind and be aware of that. Most of what they use is branded toward their business. So even when you phone customer relations and you want to find out about the stock and information about there, most of them will tell you what is already written on the documentation on their annual report or their quarterly reports. You can dig, but the truth is they're only going to tell you what they want you to know about their business. Remember, they can't give you insider information, so you don't even ask. They won't provide you with that because it's illegal, for one, and they don't know who they're talking to, and that's the other thing. And that's getting away from SHIB, because SHIB has no governance. That's why we cover it so much, because it has no governance. Everybody can short. No, everybody can reduce SHIB circulating supply throughout the entire world. There is no lock bar. I think. Exactly, Matt. That's exactly it. Because it costs you nothing. And if you win, you win. You lose, you lose. And it gives you the ability to buy more if it continues to go down. That's the whole purpose of it. And you don't need any more. You don't need any more than that. Xavier. You make 2,000 from SHIB. Did you take part in the run of when Shibarium burned 56 billion SHIB? Who took advantage of that? Anybody? 5x your money. Right? Everything went up, though. Doge went up. SHIB went up. SHIB started the run, though. It took off first because of BTC. Look for that drop. Yeah, Xavier. The chart is in. Hold on, Scott. Hold on, Scotty. Scotty, like if that's your target, awesome. If it goes below there, that's why we say treat it like a lottery ticket. If it goes below 4 zeros 1000, I think you're very fortunate to get it to go there. I personally can't see it going there because we're this close to the end of August. Okay, guys, please keep in that in mind, right? August is takeoff season. So what happens is all the cryptocurrencies start to what? Rise. Now, how fast? Very slow, moderate, 5 to 10% per week, roughly. So please keep that in mind. And then we have blowout in September, where we get 20 to 30% almost weekly. And then October is just absolute phenomenal. Like we're 2 times, 3 times, 4 times events. November, same idea. We get some pullback. We get some rises. You get euphoria happening. Everybody's telling all their friends to get in to cryptocurrencies because it's taken off like a mother. You're up 5x, 6x, 7x. And then you hit December, it goes back down. You get some profit taking, and then you get some massive drives. So, and those are daily, by the way. So it goes 2x, 3x, and then it gets pullbacks. 20, 30% isn't unheard of. And then you get explosions, right? And then it happens just before the end of the year. We have some massive run-ups just at the in January. By the middle of January, you're starting to see pullbacks already. So please keep in mind, that's your general spout of cryptocurrency. What do you... Okay, so I'm in gaming. I'm a tech. That's what I do professionally. Matt, shout out to everyone. Matt, Babe's channel, welcome Babe's channel. Thanks for coming in. Scotty, study support and okay, Scotty. Yes, I studied charts before. I don't study charts with SHIB. I think it's ridiculous to study something that's completely undervalued this much. And there's reasons, right? Like I said to you guys before, SHIB should have taken off a year ago. like October of last year, 2024. SHIB should have went through the roof. All the exchanges, all of them know this. If they reduced SHIB by even 500 billion, 600 billion SHIB would have went up and they would have made about $8 to $9 billion in transactions per day. Not a lie. This is actual facts. Okay? And then all they had to do was take 10% of their profit that they have made in the next 6 months and then do it again. Another, because it takes 4 months for the psychology of people to catch on. There's actually less supply. Like, it's unreal. We just burned over 2 billion this month alone. And where's the price? It goes down. Does that make sense to anybody? You burned, so there's less supply. You got more wallet holders, and we are selling it? You're selling SHIB. Does that make sense to anybody? Anybody? Come on, guys. Does it make sense to anybody? That's what I'm talking about. Richard. No, I don't play Fortnite, Richard. Sorry, brother. My son plays Fortnite. My brother plays Fortnite, but I don't touch it. Scotty, when you using and you still DCA in, Scotty, it's a good idea, right? Everybody should be learning from Scotty. You should be DCing in on SHIB. It's true. But how much, right? Treat it like a lottery ticket, guys. Make sure you don't put all your eggs in SHIB. We don't know when it's going to take off. We know it should have already happened. That's a fact. It's amazing that you guys can get back in at this price. You're not Richard. You're just Rich Kid Flex. Sorry, Rich Kid. Jack Frost is in the house. Eddie B's in the house. Yes, I own SHIB. I own over 50 million. Jack Frost. Grr. Eddie, how much? Yeah, okay, so it's over 50 million, Eddie. And I'm always DCAing in. Especially when it goes down. Come on, everybody. Say it with me, right? When you have 410 trillion SHIB reduced, and you're constantly reducing the circulating supply, there's no chance of replenishment. Zero chance of replenishment. Zero governance. They can't mint anymore. It's done minting. So you're always reducing the circulating supply. How come no one's caught onto this? That's what I get. Manipulating. I believe there's a lot of that. DC until current price. Well, the whole idea, Matt, is that you would finally catch up, and your DCing in is finally paid off, where you're starting to make money quicker. That's all that is. But you're owning more at a smaller price. Make sense? So then you're going to see the benefits of your accumulation. Jack Frost, great question. What does SHIB do? Scott, Jax. So I don't know where in the world you are, Scott. So if you're in the U.S., all you need is $13. Right now, $13.10, 20 cents buys you 1 million SHIB. So how many times do you buy in? Before we used to buy in on Sundays, right, guys? Because Sundays was sell-off Sunday. They changed it. Now it's more like buy in on Thursday. Today would have been a good day to accumulate more. Yesterday was a good day to accumulate more. So if you didn't already, you could have already accumulated some more. But you don't have to, right? You only need 1 to 2 million SHIB, and you're set. A lot of people will say you're crazy. What does SHIB do? So Jack Frost, SHIB is constantly reducing its circulating supply, increasing the value of SHIB with every single transaction. And every single company in the world gets paid to reduce SHIB. Now, I'll share with that if you want to know why that is. Eddie B, you bought 17 million 5 years ago. So you, Eddie, are well off then. If you bought it 5 years ago. Because we're coming up to the 5th year that it's been in business. So if you bought it 5 years ago, my friend, you didn't buy SHIB. You probably bought Deutsche. I'm sitting, Eddie, you're sitting on it. Okay, the standard blockchain for SHIB is the RC20. It's an RC20 token. It's on the Ethereum blockchain. But Jack Frost, that has kind of went the way of the dodo because we have Robinhood, we have Binance, we have Upbit, we have Crypto.com, we have Gate.io, we have a new exchange, Coinbase, Bybit, Bitmart, and the list goes on. There's over 240 exchanges that are now buying, selling SHIB. Fives video, what vendor games do you play? Fives, Deutsche is my friend. Oh, Eddie B, you like Deutsche too. Nice meme, right? And Deutsche.me. Eddie B, Deutsche got you started, so you probably bought Deutsche 5 years ago. Deutsche was a good coin. You could have made a lot of money off of Deutsche. A lot of people made a lot of money off Deutsche. Especially when it went to 72 cents USDT. Fed policy facts. As of July 30th, 2025, the Fed and the benchmark, that's already said. What happened in the markets? The markets at first didn't do a darn thing, and then they started to sell off. The Dow ended at $333 points. 333 points below. So again, we had a bit of a sell. We're probably going to get a bit of a sell tomorrow, and then you're going to get a bit of a spike on Friday, which is going to be awesome for all of you because it's going to increase. Because why? People are going to realize it didn't actually do anything. It just did exactly what they said they would do. People were anticipating maybe a 25 to 50 basis point reduction to stimulate the market, but they didn't do it. Like I said, it's more like showboating at this point with Jerome Powell. Everything is showing him to reduce, but he's doing the exact opposite. Not to get carried away with rich kid flex. Rich kid. Why do you want SHIB? Rich kid. Coinbase cool to own. Yeah, Coinbase is good. Crater. Light and dark. Just going to call you light and dark. Rich kid. You want in as well. Yeah, well, everybody should get in. And especially if you're in the United States or United Kingdom, it's extremely cheap. In Canada, it's fairly cheap. It's around $17 buys you $1 million. So that's good news for everybody. Investment, but still much more expensive. Matt, Jack, ETH. Yeah, so if you're in the States, Robinhood, talk to there you go, Webull. There you go, Eddie. Webull actually can buy more. It's more like stocks, and it gives you more leverage. Rich kid flex, increase elbow, increase it. Rich kid. You're in South America, bro. Oh, there you go, rich kid. So you don't, okay, so if you're in South America, you probably just want to buy every 2 weeks because you guys have a gambling outfit down there. So you're probably looking at about 500 to 600,000 SHIB every 2 weeks. If you're in South America, you probably could afford the $13 once a month. That's for people that are in underlying countries where the dollar doesn't go very far. Yeah, Robinhood. Matt's in Robinhood. FTX. FTX was, and that's our problem, Matt. FTX scandal killed the cryptocurrency. Same thing with Journey. Same thing with Luna. They hurt cryptocurrencies, right? Stuff like that hurts because they back their other coins and provide liquidity for those coins. And then when the things fall apart, like in markets like today, what happens is the lies catch up to them because they can't continue to back it because you have no gains to back it against. So therefore, things just start escalating and they don't know how to get out of it. Now, imagine, Matt, imagine having SHIB in your corner. Okay, you made a mistake. So you double down, you buy more SHIB, and then you start reducing it because you know what's going to happen when you start reducing massive sums of it. So you borrow liquidity against one of your coins. See, this is the whole thing, right? SHIB is so powerful. People don't even understand what that means. That gives them an out, right? Oh, I overspent, but I can now use my other coin because SHIB is a guaranteed pull. It is. It gives them the ability to create wealth. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. That's why I want everybody to understand that whole concept. That's why I want everybody to like the channel so we can burn 80% of the proceeds that come in from this channel so we can get this whole thing going and burn enormous amount of SHIB to prove to you what that does. Because it's a wealth creation machine. Period. You can reduce it. It pays you to reduce it. And then you do it again. You go through the whole process again because it's going to increase what? More demand. More people are going to come in because they're making more money. So when you have more people coming in and make more money, you have that 5.3 billion people on the planet. All of them want to make what? More money. And then you have reduction, less supply, more demand. Repeat. You get the whole concept now, right? And at what point do we start seeing that accumulation daily in SHIB? When companies start doing it. When AI starts to what? Figure out how they're going to manipulate it to take it over. No, when AI figures this out, it's over. It's over. You're not going to see it happen, and everybody's going to tell you the same thing. It means nothing. AI is going to come in. I told you this before. It's going to come in when they have a buy order, right? There's a purchase. Someone's selling. They have a purchase for that sell. It's only 5 million SHIB or 10, 15 million SHIB. They buy it. They burn it. The wallet that's used to buy it sends it to the dead end wallet. That wallet is no longer functioning. So it doesn't look like anything that's inappropriate. So it comes across to every single person on the planet as 0 transactions. Does everyone understand that? Because you can't track it. Once it's gone, it's gone. There's another wallet that does the exact same thing. It buys it, burns it, the wallet's gone. Buys it, burns it, the wallet's gone. Buys it, burns it, wallet's gone. Just like that. Okay? Milliseconds apart. So the transactions come across on the burn as it never happened. So you won't even see it happening. And it's only small bits of it, like 69,000, 100,000, 99,000. Like it's like 2 or 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 20 million SHIB removed. You know, when people see that, they go and say, well, it's nice, but it's not going anywhere. That's the lure of the trap. So all of a sudden you're starting to, no, it's not a scam. Rich kid. Some people need, okay, so for one thing, is SHIB out of your touch? That's why it's so important for everybody to understand that, right? Everybody needs to understand what's going on in SHIB. The price is low. It's affordable to the entire world. It doesn't matter how much you get in, rich kid. It doesn't matter how much you get in. Just make sure you get in and treat it like a lottery ticket, even if it's like back home. And you, like, I know in the Philippines, it's 20 pesos to get in on their draws, and it pays out like 3,000, 4,000 pesos. So it's 40 to 1 for Canadians, 56 to 1 if you're in the US. Tells you how far your money goes in the Philippines, right? Jack Frost, wake up. You think it's BS, Jack Frost? Okay. Why do you think it's BS? If I could prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt this is exactly what's going on, would you believe it? That's the number one thing. If I prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt, it has been 5 years, dude. Jack Frost, it's been 5 years. 5 years for what? It's going to be 5 years. When is 5 years? August 1st. We're not there yet. It's only 4 years, 4.9 years, right? Old. So I'm not sure where that's coming from. Matt McCoy, Jack Rich, where? It's so unaffordable, right? SHIB is so unaffordable. So buy Doge. Doge is minting. You know what? People understand this. Doge is minting to pay you for staking in it. And people have no problem with this. It's devaluing Doge every single day. But more people are accepting that than a currency that's working backwards, that's actually paying you to stay in it every time there's a reduction. Johnson. Thanks, Johnson. You're awesome. Yes, ball cap, we're extremely early, but you know that, right? It's a joke. You don't think that... Okay, so 600 million SHIB gone from circulation is a joke. 1 billion, July 3rd, that was gone to the dead-end wallets is a joke. You know, Binance did that for you. That's over what? $13,000 given back to every single SHIB holder. That's a fact, Jack. That's a fact. So $13,000 is a joke to you. Stay away from SHIB. Because everything from this moment on is a reduction in SHIB. You're going to think it's a joke. And you're going to think that there's no way that this is true. And there's nothing I can say or do that's going to sell you on it. Or you're not going to believe it. SHIB is going to rise. Senior Jesus. So Jesus, stimmable. SHIB should be rising already, right? Senior, rich kid. So okay, so that's the number one trick, rich kid. It should have happened already, like I said before. You guys are so lucky to get into it now because it should have taken off already. Binance was reducing SHIB since last year, 1 billion every quarter. That's 6 times already. That's 6 billion SHIB removed from circulation from one exchange. There's 240 exchanges, and Binance is the only one reducing the circulating supply. Okay, and we have Shibarium that's reducing SHIB on a constant basis, but 69,000 to 420, 69,000 from the exact same wallet, 69,420, 69,420 from, looks like 3 different wallets. 1, 2, but it's all the same amount. Gives you the impression that it might be AI, but it's not because it's not big enough. Okay, and if they're testing it, it wouldn't be this because that's less than a penny USDT. Guys, please keep that in mind. 1 penny is like, what was it, 90,000? Almost 1,000, right? 100,000 SHIB removed. Fives, the sky. Jesus, shit, well. So Shibarium just signed a massive contract. I don't know if anyone cares about it, but Shibarium signed a massive contract with Gate.io, and of course, it signed a massive contract with Bluebit. David King. Where do you see that? So David King, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Where do you see this? Are you talking about the Binance burns? The 6 billion removed from circulating supply, and that's only from Binance. Fives, David King, the transactions. Okay, yes. Okay, so the transactions yesterday. I'm gonna have to start. Okay, so 410 trillion, 752 billion, 067 065 million 973,000 0848. You'll have to start watching that number. Okay, and when you see it on shibburn.com, you can go back. I think it's around 50 to 60 pages in there, and if you want, I can copy it. I'll see if I can find it. But you're going to be able to only see the one. And that was on the 3rd. July 3rd. Okay, the next one's due in October. The next burn. So that should be around October 3rd as well. Sometimes he delays it. I don't know why. This is 2 weeks ago. 100 million. There you go, David King. You can pull it up. Because I know people like to hear that I do this for them, and then they don't see it. But it's all here. 3 weeks ago. Oh. 3 weeks ago. 30,349 burnt. And then it won't give it to you. Doesn't want to. Is it because it's stuck? So $30,349 dollars. No, sorry. Yeah, it stopped at 30,349 burn. And we just burned 600 million 3 days ago. You know, that's giving it back to the entire SHIB community, by the way, David. So Matt, no, it's not making me angry. I just want make sure. Nothing makes me angry, guys. The only thing is I got to raise my voice because I don't think you're hearing me at all. I think you're just ignoring the facts, and then I'm trying to reiterate those facts to you, and then you're still questioning the facts. It's like, you're kidding me? Then look it up yourselves. I'll tell you exactly where you can find it. You don't believe me. Most of the stuff is on the web, but I'm just trying to make it easier for everybody to understand what's going on. Because I believe in sharing the information so that everybody can make as much money as possible. I don't want to see anyone get left behind. And in this case, a lot of people are going to get left behind. Marty. So like in So Sigma? Yeah, well, it's supposed to be fun, right? This is a channel that's supposed to drive in the humor along with the SHIB, so that everybody understands what that means. Because when you're adding more value, the more value you add, the more it's worth, right? It should be. You think about it, right? If you're adding more value to something, it should be worth more. We talked about this with the Mona Lisa. You have 30,000 copies of the Mona Lisa. All of a sudden, those copies start getting reduced. It should be, each one of them is getting more and more value, right? Yes, my socks are on. Fives. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's what we try and do, right? It's got to get some humor going, right? You can't always be driving facts, because a lot of people get, it's like, yeah, that's nice and all, but it's got no substance. It's got no liquid. And we want to make sure that everybody's having a great time in here, because we're all about what? Making money. We all want to make money, but we have a lot of, seems like we have a lot of investors that don't know anything that they're buying. They just see an opportunity. Either they're buying it to get rid of it, or it's not making anything to get rid. Like when I look at SHIB on the whole spectrum, I'm shocked that people are selling it or buying it at a millionth of a cent, and it just baffles me. They must have a lot of SHIB. They're selling it and buying it at a cent, less than a cent, less than a millionth of a cent, right? You know how much money you would need to have in order to make any money on that deal? Like, that's insane to me. Marty, I'm not, that's where I have an issue. That's where I think it's funny to look at. I think it's fun to watch SHIB. Absolutely. It seems like there's more buyers right now than there's sellers, or there's more sellers than there are buyers. That's why the price is fluctuating all the time. Eventually, that's going to come to a halt, and you're going to have more buyers than sellers, because people are going to start to realize, hey, wait a second, what the hell am I doing? Right? Because I'm selling something that's constantly adding value. So something's got to give. And that's the truth of it. If it's constantly adding value, why are you selling it? So something's got to happen, psychology, to these people, and it's going to fly. When? Oh, that's a good question. It should have happened already. Like I said, it should have happened already. You have Binance reducing 1 billion every quarter. So every 3 months, you're getting a billion reduction in SHIB. And it's only one platform doing it. Then you have exchanges that want to make money, and the more they reduce, the more money they generate from volume. They don't care about the price. They just want to see that volume creep up. The more volume that it generates, and let's face facts. Bitcoin, it doesn't reduce anything. In fact, it's generating more. And it's climbing every single day because of the NFTs. ETFs, sorry. Jeez. ETFs, right? Because it's got what? Now the financial sector can now buy into BTC. So what does that mean? Stabilization. That's exactly what that means. And it's got a massive following. So it's got a lot of volume behind it. Like a massive volume behind it. That's why it does so well. Then you look at Ethereum. You go, okay, the volume on Ethereum is astronomical. Like it's right next to BTC. No, it's way under BTC, and it has the same amount. But the thing is, it doesn't have the oomph that BTC has. And then you look at the rest of them, and you start to see, they are gaining back and forth. So each of the market trends, in fact, you get more movement from the stable coins than you do from the actual coins themselves, in the billions, right? So please keep that in mind too. So fives type, I gave some homeless guy some Monopoly money. There you go. Marty. There you go. That's awesome. When you give and here's the best part about SHIB that everybody misconstrues. The only currency that has gotten any stability about it is Bitcoin. Okay, because in El Salvador they actually treat it like currency, and it's the only cryptocurrency. There's 18,000, 28,000 cryptocurrencies out there, and none of them are considered legal tender anywhere except BTC by El Salvador. Now, I was thinking that it would have a lot more than just one country, but that's all that's adopted it right now. And it's too damn expensive for most countries to adopt it. It's just too rich, right? I mean, gold is hard enough for countries to adopt because of the price that it currently sits on. So never mind Bitcoin. That's the truth of it. And so, Marty, thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, it's not legal tender anywhere in the world until you do what? Until you sell it for your fiat currency. So until you sell it to your fiat currency, that's when you have to pay taxes on it, not before. Thoughts on XRP, David? Okay, XRP, controlled burns. So I'll bear with you the facts of XRP. XRP is great. It's competing with Swift, and Swift is on its way out. So it's good in that regard. But for a worldwide thing, it's way in the backdrop. So please keep that in mind. Like right now, they're competing with Swift. They're trying to say that they're faster, better, and more secure than Swift is. That might be so, but Swift is on its way out. And then you have API and UPI, and of course WPI. And we talked about that yesterday. Sorry that you missed it, David, but we talked about that yesterday. Free gas seeds. Grass seeds, sorry. You get free grass seeds. Okay, so Marty, you have a business. Excellent. How to write off a certain proceeds off your farm. All right, we're talking about a farm. How much of the farm is actually making you money? Every year you have a certain amount of loss where your seed doesn't take, or you get drought, or you get insects that take it, right? That's considered loss. If you had a business, that would be called a corporate loss. So how much of your property, if you broke it down, how much of the property did not generate any revenue for you on the property? You get to write that off, right, on your taxes. Everybody understand that? You get to write that off, okay? If you wrote off 10%, you wrote off 10%, and it turns out it was only 8.5. Who's going to know that it was only 8.5? You, and only you are going to know that it wrote off 8.5. If you took the other 2.5% and started putting it towards buying SHIB and reducing the circulating supply, what would happen? What would happen? You would make money and you get to claim the whole 10%. Does anyone understand that? Because that's how businesses operate. Okay? If he took 10% and of the total and said there was 10% loss, that's a loss. He gets to write that off. So that goes towards his top line that he would have to pay in on the net sales. Okay? He gets to write that off. So if he took the whole thing and wrote the whole thing up, you understand what that means, right? And then took the 2.5 and broke it up into two sections. Half it went into buying more SHIB, The other half goes towards reducing SHIB. Everybody get that? Now, why would you do that? Mr. Funny. Pepe. Mr. Funny. Pepe. Pepe doesn't reduce any of its currency, and it's controlled by who? CEO, CFO. Right. That's why we don't talk about it. Because we don't want to... You don't know who these people are. Their names are Grook and Tohu. I mean, you don't know. Like, that's the thing, guys. When you're looking at cryptocurrencies and you see the names behind them, you're like, wow. Dung you did. Oh, you. Marty, so you understand that, Marty? Renee, big shout out to Renee. Shiba, laugh out loud. Shiba! Type. God bless you. Gesundheit. Stop. Take action. XRP memes are the way to go. XRP. You think XRP is the way to go? Why? David, advice best. Okay, David, not sure where you're from, but wherever you're from, if it's in America, if you're in North America, crypto.com is good. It's secure, right? Robinhood, if you're in the United States, is the one we don't recommend any of them, but they're the most secure. Robinhood has a massive amount of SHIB, somewhere around 33 trillion. Binance, you can't buy Binance in North America, but Binance has 45 trillion SHIB. They no longer have that. They split it between them and Coinbase. Okay, David King, you're in the U.S. So Robinhood, Matt is your guy. Matt will tell you to get into Robinhood because it's one of the lowest cost. I think it's like 2 cents to buy SHIB, which is, I love that. If I could buy that in Canada for 2 cents, absolutely, that would be killer. Right now I got a spread, which is nasty, and then I got to pay 2% because I don't have $100,000 invested. Because once you have $100,000, they lower it to 1%. Get a load of that, eh? What a load of crap. When you're, especially if Robinhood were to come to Canada, it would kill the market here. Just kill it, because everybody would be piling out of everything and piling into Robinhood. What's your thoughts on XRP? Everyone has. Renee, XRP is fine for all those are in it. Governance really kills me. It really does kill me. Anybody that knows anything about governance, and they can't mint anymore. This is hilarious because it has governance. Yes, it can, but it's hard to do, right? They have to talk to 3 levels of their government inside XRP. So XRP is run by the CEO, CFO, and they can't mint anymore. That's true. Okay, but the validators can if they got the backing from Ripple, which own almost 50% of XRP. So Ripple has 48% of XRP. That should scare people that are in XRP because they have all the say. So if they don't like something that XRP is doing, they can put the brakes on it. All they need is to get the validators behind them and shunt it, because XRP themselves don't have 48% of the supply. So please keep that in mind. And that's why we don't cover it. I'm sorry, but we don't cover it because of that fact alone. SHIB doesn't have anybody in SHIB to do that. Zero governance, guys. Zero. So that means investors are the ones who make the rules in SHIB. And of course, whoever owns the most usually runs the show. So if they like the price where it is, they're happy. They don't like where the price is going, that means they're going to be doing what? They should be if they're not shorting it, they should be buying more. Or find ways to come up with reducing it. So yeah, Renee, that's my take on it. That's why I'm not in XRP. Got involved in too many companies that run the show, and they dictate where their stock goes, where their money goes. When they take in shareholders' money, they think they're doing the best they can for shareholders, but most of them lose money. Majority of them lose money, and then they got to backpedal to try and accumulate. So what happens? They offer rights, they offer warrants, they offer buybacks. They don't buyback. It means what? Everybody knows when they say something about buybacks, they can't get the money through warrants. What happens? They what? Devalue their stocks, increase the amount of stocks that are available to generate what? More money. So why don't we cover stocks? Because exact same problem. Put money into CDI and what we need. Marty, I'm going to explain this really quick. We should never, okay, you guys that are new, I know that there's a lot that are new to crypto, and dang, that cool. That's cool. I know that you're new to cryptocurrencies, and my hat goes off to each and every one of you. I just wish you all the very best. Marty, we don't tell you to put your money into SHIB. We just tell you to use it like a lottery ticket. So if it makes money, it makes money. If it doesn't, you're DCing in next week or next month or next 2 weeks, every 2 weeks when you get paid, or every week that you get paid, you're putting $5, $10, $15 aside to buy more SHIB. Just treat it like a lottery ticket. It should have already happened, guys. It's amazing that this hasn't happened already. I want to get that message clear to everybody that it's phenomenal that this hasn't taken off yet, because it adds value every single time there's a reduction. So every company, every institution on the planet, and that goes for schools, that goes for farmers, it goes for anybody that wants to make money. All they had to do was buy, sell. Sell it by reducing the circulating supply. And they get paid. So why would you do it personally, reduce SHIB circulating supply? Because you're not getting paid for it unless you have capital gains. Then you're getting paid to reduce SHIB. But until that time, you're not getting paid. So once you start making money in SHIB, that's when you can start reducing it. But before then, you can't. It's just not feasible to you. And you don't have to. Organizations all over the world get paid to reduce SHIB. And I just proved it to you. Okay? So don't worry if you're not burning it. And if the people don't understand that, they don't deserve to be in SHIB. They just don't. Because you're not going to, no matter what happens, they're just too focused on, I need to borrow money so that I can borrow more money later on. That's all they get. They don't get the concept that reducing it increases their wealth. They just don't see it. And I'm afraid that if I can't teach it, I'm not doing my job. Right? And that's why it's for the entire world. And that's why we do it. That's why we come onto the channel and have a great, wonderful time here. Right? Try and boost morale. Try and tell everybody why. And then they finally get it. Lift, massive love show to you. Same few coins. Babe's channel, massive love show to everybody. And that's the show for tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. And I really appreciate every single one of you that come in. Remember that 80% of the proceeds from this channel go to the reduction in your wallet, goes back into your pocket, because we're reducing SHIB circulating supply. That's a fact. That's what we do for you. As soon as we get monetized, boom, 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 boom. Every month, we're going to show you exactly how much we made. 80% of it's going to the reduction wallet. So everybody's making money that comes into this SHIB TV broadcasting network. Absolutely, for every single person. That's right. That's right, Eddie. So just think, right? You tell 100 friends that come in and watch the channel, everybody makes money. Come on. Who doesn't want to make money, right? And what do? All you do is show up, take part, wave, say two things, and watch us burn SHIB, right? And how fun is that, right? 80% of all the proceeds, 5.3 billion people on the planet all want to make money. We can do our part, right? Everybody can do their part. Take advantage of it. Absolutely. Be part of something greater than yourselves. Watch your money fly, right? And on what? On a channel you're supporting, that's fantastic, right? So, yeah. We're at 401296. That is awesome. Where should we be, Matt? 30598 right now. But we're not there. That's value. And how do we get that value? We got that value from this. 56 billion SHIB